Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order, our meeting on December the 17th, 2024 at 5:30 PM. Everybody's here. It's the first meeting for Linnea, our new student member. And the first thing we're going to do is approve the minutes. So Rick, this is a card to sign to send to a thank you note to the librarian at the high school for her help with finding Linnea. So everybody have a chance to look at the minutes?
I have read the minutes and I move
There's one correction,
correction.
the date that we approved them.
Oh,
Okay, now you can,
I move we approve the minutes as corrected.
everybody in favor, say aye. Aye. Minutes are approved as is. Okay. There's no public here to comment. Where should we put in Linnea's introduction?
It's going to be in the discussion. item,
Okay.
so we'll go through the form.
Okay, so the next thing would be Mr. Sassy.
So we have coming up no public employee introductions. We have a public hearing regarding annexation and zone change on North Holly. So I think that's the Parsons property.
Yeah,
North Holly, is that,
Holly and.
yeah, I mean, we live
Territorial.
near Holly and Territorial, so,
So it'd be the Petersons that own Parsons, that
Oh.
beautiful home that sits back with all the property
Yep.
around it.
Oh, okay.
That's-
Yep.
what, they're trying to incorporate that into the city?
What is that?
Annexation, that means homes.
You mean, I don't
Ah,
understand what that, so,
You
Don't
have to be
people live
annexed
there?
into the city, that
No.
site is not. This site is annexed,
oh,
that
I
site
see,
is
I see,
not.
I see.
It's around the tree farm, so they need to bring that into the city before they can develop it. And then we are gonna talk about updates, the transit is building a new building. They're gonna give us an update on that.
so what's happening with the adult center and the United Methodist
I
Church?
hope to God it's done. They were talking about that when I used to sit in the back room in the last meeting, if you saw it, I said, let's get this thing done.
What's the holdup?
Oh, just government.
Oh.
City government. Should have been done a month ago.
Okay,
Center's gonna buy the Methodist church
Yes,
and move to the other side of town.
yes.
And have a permanent.
Yep. More parking.
Yeah.
Bigger community rooms, better kitchen, yeah. So it's a good move.
and they're still going to let the church have services on Sunday?
Yes.
That'll be nice. I mean, I used to take Spanish classes in there. It's a big building.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
Yep.
space in there.
Now, they didn't get that open space across from the grass and the garden, I don't think they got. They're
No.
just from the parking lot
Yes.
that way to the hall,
Yeah,
which is still big.
yes, it's still a big space.
Yeah, so that's good for them.
Scott, so what's the potential for the existing senior center then? What do you think's happening there? Is there any,
The city had its way, knock it down.
just knock it down?
It's not worth putting the money into it, and we're in that triplex thing where the school owns the property, the city owns the building, you gotta get a renter.
Yeah, that's a challenge to get a renter to put up with all that, bureaucracy, yeah.
We'll see. But the adult center, that's a 2-year deal, so it's gonna take almost 2 years to get everything finalized and get out.
Yeah.
Is there ever a study done on how many people walk over from Home Village?
A lot,
Yeah.
because when I leave for work in the morning, it's amazing how many, God bless them, with their walkers and their sticks are walking over there to play cards or lunch or whatever, yeah.
Well, they have Hope Village buses and stuff. They'll just be on a regular
So good
rotation.
move, and I hope they do well.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's gonna be it.
Does anybody else have any questions for Scott?
One question, anything on the attorney front?
We hired the same firm that we had before.
Okay,
So we got 3 applications and we picked them again. They came and we met them and we liked the new ones. One guy retired that we were working with, David. And so now we have a new one named Emily Guymont. She's our city attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Will she be located here or just work with her?
She
Remotely.
came for a meeting in person, so we could meet her, and then she'll be on Zoom most.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Tiffany?
I have one. I saw an email recently about, and I've forgotten the wording. It was some sort of a plan to get involved in city,
The city academy?
yes.
Yes.
I'm wondering, is that only for 2025? Is
They're
that
gonna see-
something that
No,
they're
they'd
planning?
like to have it ongoing, but they want to get this year going. I think last time they were expecting, they wanted no more than 25 and 17 people were signed up for it. So if you're interested, call City Hall.
They're hoping it's an annual thing, but it depends on how this year goes.
Okay.
And so far, they've actually had a good accompaniment. Every city department will end up having to do a presentation. And then I think there's like dinner involved and stuff, so everyone gets to know how the city runs. So I'll be doing a presentation from the library. I'll be at several of the meetings too, just to kind of talk about things that are going on. But I've done it before.
I'm really interested in it, but the likelihood of my capacity for 2025 is really slim. So that's why I was asking, like, if it was gonna be an ongoing thing or what.
They'd like it to be.
Okay, so I mean, what you're saying is it might be worthwhile to make a phone call and just be like, hey, look, this is really, yeah, okay.
So, and Christy has signed up, so she's going to report back to us.
Oh, fantastic.
So,
Okay.
at least, so we can hear more about it, because
More about
rather than half of the board showing up, it's meant to be a representative group, so she can go and then report back to us.
Wonderful.
So-
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah. And maybe you can go in 2026. Okay, so I'm next. I have to apologize for canceling the November meeting at the last minute. I had a chance to go play in the sun for a week and I took it. Carpe diem and all that stuff. And our bylaws require that we meet at least every other month. So there was no choice of canceling the December meeting, which Linnea, we often do because this is such a crazy time of the year. But that's why we had to meet. It's all my fault.
There were several people that were in the house.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather be mad at Lois.
Even though Linda was gone too, she'd rather be mad at me. Are there any other board member reports? Nothing's happening with LDAC? Okay. Just to point out that Jennifer did get a thank you card that we all signed for the school librarian, and I've forgotten her name now because it's December, my brain is dead, but Courtney. She was very helpful with the process, and so we are then sending her a nice thank you note to say thank you for that.
I can send that off if it's.
Yeah.
I'll mail it.
Yeah, I'll let you do it. Drop it by. So there's no LDAC. So we'll, we're not going to make you do a report on your first night here. How's that? Marissa, you're up next.
Okay, a few things, let's see. I and several other staff members are in the process of applying for a few grants right now. I just submitted one application, for a grant that has to do with accessibility, in the library, and so we're really hopeful we're gonna be getting that funding. And then the job initiative, Clackamas County homelessness grant with the job infrastructure application that we submitted. We just got the IGA finally yesterday, so that money should be coming in January, beginning of January. It's been almost a year since we were told that we were gonna get that money, and there was just a lot that had to be done. So that money is on its way. Very excited about that. Speaking of accessibility, we have been moving several collections in the library just so they are easier to find and access by our patrons. So far that's been working because a lot of those collections have actually had higher service capacity. The teen open house for the teen mural, on the 23rd of November went really well. Our mural artist Carlos was here, he flew in, he's based out of Southern California. He flew in to do an anime workshop for all ages, and we did in fact have all ages there. I think our youngest patron was 5, and our oldest was in retirement. So that was really, really awesome to see. So that went really well. We just started planning our next community reads program. I cannot tell you the book yet, but I can tell you that we may or may not have gotten the author, to participate in a virtual discussion with whoever wants to be included, and it's a very exciting person. So I'm just gonna leave that there. Please consider joining the inaugural Kansas Civic Engagement Academy like we talked about earlier. I think it will be a really good opportunity for people to understand a little bit more about how city government works. Our children's librarian, Philip, will be back on Monday. He's been gone for 2 months. I can't even believe that it's been 2 months, but he'll be back on Monday, and then he'll be off for 2 days. And then he'll be back on Thursday. So we're excited about that. Just a couple reminders, the library is going to be closing at 5 p.m. on the 23rd of December, and then also the 31st of December. And then we're going to be closed all day, Christmas Eve, Christmas, and New Year's. And then the very last thing, which this is going to have a little bit to do with our discussion on our goals and whatnot, but the city council goal setting retreat is going to be happening at the end of January, early February. And because this is now both myself and Eileen's second time doing this, we really want to make sure the library gets a goal in there. So it's something that we should really be thinking about over the next couple weeks. But we'll get into that later. But that's pretty much everything that's going on. Things are going really well. We've had a couple staff members out for various reasons, but people are coming back now. And I'm still catching up on emails from being out for a week. I was sick last week. But I'm better now, so that's great. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions for me?
When will we know?
Soon. We basically were waiting to get the contract signed officially. But this specific person, their speaker fee is usually very high. And we said, listen, this is our budget, what can you do? And she responded almost immediately with like, oh. So anyway, it will be very soon. I think we actually have to purchase the books at the very beginning of January, and we're hoping to give them out starting February. So I would say in the next couple.
Okay.
Do you have any statistics for us on these? Like flows going?
Like from 6 to 7. I mean, honestly, it's about the same as it normally is, although in the winter, when it gets dark earlier, a lot of our patrons come before it gets dark, and that's still very much the case. I can get you some statistics for our next meeting, but it tends to be the same people in here from like 6 to 7. We're here for a very specific purpose. It's usually study and whatnot, but I would say that last half hour is almost. I mean, it also depends on the programs. If there's a program, usually there's more people in the building, but if there's no programs, a lot of people try to get on before the work. Yeah, but I'll get you some stats.
Any other questions for Marissa? Okay, I do have a report from the Friends of the Library. They now have a person on their board who has some grant writing experience. She's going to a webinar on this and tomorrow. And have you talked with Maureen about how much grant writing she's actually done?
No, I have not talked to her yet, but that's one of the things that I'm really hoping to do over the next couple of months is I seek out specific grant opportunities, but I've also been taking a lot of classes and doing a lot of research on grant writing, so it's something that I'm starting to feel more and more comfortable with, especially since I've gotten several grants in my first year as director. But that's something that I'm really wanting more people to get involved with on different boards related to the library, because I can only do so many myself, but if other people even want to be a part of like a brainstorming team, which I have several staff members that are, it's really helpful to get input from people who have different connections to the library, so.
So for those of you who don't know, grant writing is a very narrow, specific skill set. I used to have a neighbor who was one, and trust me, I might have a master's degree and have a lot of experience in different things. I would never try grant writing. I mean, it's very narrow, very specific, and you really have to understand the rules behind it, which they don't tell you about in order to get money. So it's nice that there's actually somebody now on the Friends Board who's interested in doing that. They had they have a total of $46,000 in the two account, and checking is 13,000 and savings is 33. They have chosen not to continue being a Chamber of Commerce member at this time, which I thought was extremely disappointing. They're doing very well at the Canby Beer Libraries. Books are selling really well, especially the children's books. The Christmas sale has started on December 2nd. That's gone really well too. Books are disappearing. In January, they're getting new shelves in the back room so they can organize. Is that kind of?
That's not, I can't say for sure, but it's not something that we can promise right now.
Okay. That, and they also have a board member, Amy Seeley, who's in charge of social media. So they're doing a lot more. There's one person who's really focused on it. She's doing a lot more social media, both on Facebook and Instagram, and also they're partnering with their business donors as well. And they're looking at ways to partnering with the plant library. There's a plant library here in Canby, which we didn't know about. And then Mary Voskuhl resigned after 7 years on the board. Any question?
It's on the second. It's really cute, the plant library.
Where is it?
I know
It's
about
like
this.
as you're driving towards the high school, it's like your left.
Oh,
They're on Instagram and they have a lot of cute plants.
huh.
Can I take,
You know, leave a plant or leave a donation.
And I was just gonna say, can I,
Yes.
I can't throw them away because they're alive and it will hurt their feelings.
Busy. You can bring them to my house and they'll die.
So that's the information from the Friends of the Canby Public Library. The discussion items, teen liaison orientation. Why don't we start off with Linnea talking a bit about herself, and then the people who didn't meet her, introducing yourselves to her. That would be Christy, Rick, and Tiffany. Right? Okay, because the rest of us she met. So we'll let you start off though, Linnea.
Okay, I'm Linnea. I'm a freshman at Canby High School. I'm in the band and I play clarinet. I'm in the yoga club, so we do yoga once a week. Kind of fun. And I think in the spring I'm gonna do golf or tennis for sport. I have a dog named Sparky. He's a Labradoodle, and I have an older brother and a little sister.
Okay, Christy, why don't you go?
Something cool to say. I'm Christy, and I've lived in Canby for about 8 years. I am the board president of Canby Pride, which is an LGBTQ plus nonprofit here in town. And I also have a dog. Her name is Lucy, and she likes to wear coats.
I'm Amy, I met you before. My daughter's a freshman also, Annalise Nuss, do you know her?
Yeah.
She gave you a glowing report.
I'm Rick. I've been on the board for 4 years. I've also been on the Park and Rec Advisory Board for 20 years. And I'm a regular swimmer, a master swimmer at the Canby Pool for the last 40 years. And I have no pets. I'm pet-free at this point. I had pets, so I can't brag about my pets. But coincidentally, I am a clarinet player.
Oh.
So this is new news for you, and my new news for you to me, so. So anyway, yeah, I played in high school and college, and even pick up the instrument at home and play by myself, so. Anyway, that's good.
I was in the band in high school, but I played the flute.
Oh,
What can I say?
we could start our own band.
Yeah, I haven't played the
We
flute
need-
since high school. Tiffany?
I don't even know where to start after all of that. I am a pretty new member to this, this group of folks. I've been here for not even a year maybe, so pretty new as well. I am a long time, I've been in Canby since 2009. My son just graduated last year, and my daughter is in 6th grade playing on the 7th and 8th grade basketball team, and she is still the tallest girl on the team. I'm a lab manager by day, which right now means I'm a lab manager 24 hours a day, apparently, which has been challenging for my poor kids, but yeah. So I also have a dog named Luna. She does not wear coats because she is part husky, and I miss swimming. I miss that kind of swimming, lab swimming. I haven't done that for a while.
Scott, do you want to introduce yourself to Linnea?
Scott Sassy, council liaison, this is my last meeting, so I lied. So, yeah, lived here since 1980, 3 dogs. My wife has a chocolate company.
He's Mr. Pudding River.
Yeah,
That's what we call him.
yeah, right.
Quality control. So, yeah, that's it.
Okay, you guys already all know me, but I'm gonna show pictures of my dogs. The one on the left is Archer, and the one on the right is Quinn. Archer's almost 10, Quinn is 5 on the right. She's the crazy one. She's one of those huskies that like yells at you. And if you yell at her older brother, she'll definitely yell at you. But anyway, they're the best dogs ever, and I just love showing pictures of them because they're way cuter. You actually get to see them. So anyway, there they are. All right,
So,
that's it.
Amy, where are you guys on orientation?
I have no idea, quite honestly.
We need to get Linnea a book. The book?
She's already got it.
She's already got the book?
I did my own orientation with
Oh.
her around the time of our almost November meeting, so she knows a lot more than we think.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do I make a donation? Where are we with that? Marissa?
I have no idea. I'm not in charge of that.
Yeah,
That
but-
happens in-
Well, but when I gave it to you, you said, let me work on it. That I gave you the, after the October meeting, I think, you said you had some things that you wanted to go over with your staff.
We did the donation policy. I
We
think
did the
that's-
donation policy, but this is the, on the how do I section.
I don't know.
I will resend it to you.
Let me,
Because I think it was that you wanted to talk to some of your staff about that. And that, so you wanted me not to bring it up because you wanted to talk to some staff.
if that's true.
You had a sinus infection, it changed your brain.
Definitely. I don't have anything in my email. So anyway, I guess we'll just do that next.
Yeah, yeah.
Just looking at the website, it looks like what we came up with is posted.
Oh. Well, the donation policy was finalized. We did that in the October meeting. But we still needed to work on we needed to get that done, that finalized before we could work on the how do I section's a different section of the library website.
Did the other groups, like Kiwanis and them, did they do
Yes.
their portions? Okay.
Finally, it took me a long time to get it out of them.
We'll put that on the agenda for next one. Oh my goodness. I just typed in Candy Public Library and that's what it. I just wanted to show you.
Yeah, we wanted some kind of consensus with the other groups, right?
Yeah, and I did get that.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to get
Right.
it. I had to bug people a couple of times.
Right.
And then I thought when I sent it to Marissa that she said that she had to,
Right.
um,
I just remember verbally, I don't remember
yes,
any paperwork.
there
This-
was,
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the actual, that was like that one paragraph of the
Yeah.
donation policy that we all had worked on and approved.
Yeah, yeah.
How do I section, I must have either not read it or it's somewhere in my inbox, so I will look at it next.
okay. I'll try to find the email too.
I'm gonna keep looking.
Because that is, so basically, one of our jobs, Linnea, is to help the library write policies. I mean, that's one of the 13 things on our task list to do. That, so we redid the donation policy, and then there's a separate section of the library website that says, how do I? And so it's like, how do I make a donation? So that was a little bit longer because there's ways to donate. If you have things you want to donate that the library doesn't want, like we suggest the Kiwanis, and there's other ways to donate. And the Kiwanis gives a lot of money to the library, so it's kind of an indirect way. So that was what we,
Lois, I've got it. I did actually do what I said, and I sent it back to you, so hold on a second.
you did.
All right.
Was I in there?
No, I honestly, I've had so much going on, I can't even like see straight sometimes. So good news, I did it all, just like I said. So hold on one second. Let me share my screen.
Plot twist.
Okay, here it is.
How do I?
Okay, so here it is, how do I donate? And this is with my edits list.
Okay,
Two organizations, the Friends of the Canby Public Library and the Canby Public Library Foundation, provide supplemental funding for the library by accepting donations. As both of these are 501c3 organizations, they are able to provide receipts for tax purposes. The library itself does not accept any non-monetary gifts. Financial donations made directly to the library go to the city's general fund, not specifically to the library. More information can be found in the How Do I section of the library website. So that's the part of the policy I just included in here so we can move
Okay,
that first part
okay.
to the next part. It's all coming back to me. The Friends of the Canby Public Library. The Friends of the Canby Public Library is a volunteer 501c3 nonprofit organization providing annual budgeted funds for educational and social programming for the Canby Public Library. Revenues are generated through the bookstore, book garden store, donations, fundraising events, and friendships. The Friends accept books in gently used condition in addition to DVDs, Blu-ray, and CDs, and magazines that are no more than 3 months old. The Friends do not accept encyclopedias, dictionaries, computer manuals, VHS tapes, or Reader's Digest books. All items in the book garden are sold to raise money for the Canby Public Library, specifically for cultural and educational programs, as well as promoting the growth and the quality of services that the library provides. Donation bins for books, etc., are located inside the library doors on the right side. For larger donations, please call the library and staff will connect you with Friends. Gosh. With the Friends volunteer to arrange a larger donation drop-off. Please refer to the Friends webpage to see the list of items that are desired and those that are not accepted. The Canby Public Library Foundation is an independent 501c3 nonprofit organization with an emphasis on building an endowment and guaranteeing long-term financial support of the Canby Public Library. The foundation partners with the Friends of the Library to foster interest in the library and to help fund enhancements to the library's facilities, collections, services, and programs. Information on the foundation can be found here. Additional helpful information. The library and the Friends do not accept gifts other than those listed. If you have items that you believe have some value, please consider donating them to the Canby Kiwanis Thrift Store, as Kiwanis regularly provides financial support to the library with an emphasis on children's services and the library's Maker Lab. Canby Kiwanis also supports the Dolly Parton Imagination Library here in Canby. Information can be found here. Other partnerships. The Friends of the Library do accept some antique and classic books in good condition that are then sold through Retro Revival, where all profits minus shipping and handling go back to the Friends. The library has also partnered with the Book Nook to bring in authors for Author Talk events. The Friends have also partnered with the Book Nook to purchase books for the annual library community reads program. So that was the last crack at it that I had.
That's fantastic.
That was in October. That must have been why I forgot. So anyway, I obviously saw a couple little teeny tiny minor tweaks I need to make, but is there anything else that you guys can see that you would like me to change? You can also send this out.
Yeah. Go back to the section on the foundation, would you? Yeah. I think it would be, I think the foundation is primarily interested in larger donations.
Primarily interested, yes.
However,
Not only interested.
yeah. But the foundation is the most appropriate place if somebody wants to make a sizable donation,
Yes.
more so than, yeah.
I mean,
Don't tell anybody in the Friends I said this, but
interestingly enough, I've had a couple people ask, I want to make a large donation to the library. I don't ever ask them how much.
yeah.
It's weird, but I usually say, this is what the Friends do, this is what they provide funding for, this is what the foundation does,
Yeah.
this is what they provide funding for. Then I give them a piece of paper that has their tax IDs on it, they choose.
Yeah,
Sometimes they end up doing both, but honestly, we've had a lot of people asking lately, and I usually just say, whatever you feel like is more important to you, donate to that.
yeah.
Do they leave the check with you? Do they write the check and leave it with you right then and there?
Usually no. There have been a lot more people who have left checks for the Friends because we do take them. They have a checkbox in the back of the library. The foundation, I've had people give me checks, but normally it's better and much easier if they just donate online on their website. Which, have you guys seen their website?
Yeah.
I'll show you.
That was one of the things that held this up, is that their website wasn't done. So we couldn't,
Oh, it's done now.
yes, it is done now. So that was one of the reasons we were able to finish this.
You can access all of this through the library website.
Mhm.
That's Sophia.
Hmm.
But here's the website. It shows you, it has some information about who they are, what they do, where they're going, what they're trying to do, how they support the library, and then you can donate via this
That's great.
link, or
Good.
contact them too. But John, the library, one of the foundation members, does
John's a computer guy.
yeah, he's a computer guy, software guy, and I don't know if he builds websites, but he had somebody that he's worked with in the past design a website for him, which was one of the reasons it was taking a little bit longer. She had a lot to do, but I thought it looks beautiful now.
Yeah, it's
Whatever
very
page
nice.
you end up clicking on, there's like different pictures on it.
And they're looking for more board members, by the way, as are the Friends, by the way. If you know
Yes.
people who want to.
Both groups are looking for board members, please consider being a board member, and I will tell you, it is a very minimal commitment. The Friends meet once a month for usually about 2 hours, and the foundation meets every other month. And we're willing to work with schedules, via Zoom. I'm usually at both meetings.
One word of caution, the Friends Board is a working board, though. Well, yeah, the hope is that people who are on that board,
What do you mean by that? I don't know what that is.
I
What,
mean,
working? I don't know what that means.
I think, at least when that was started, everybody on that board worked for the Friends in some way, either worked at the bookstore or
Sales.
did the,
You know,
took care of the
PR,
money or did,
The whole,
everybody had some kind of, I mean, the foundation, I think, is much less of a commitment in terms of time.
Okay, I understand.
But I think
Okay.
the Friends Board, I would be nervous about telling people that it doesn't take very much time, because,
it does take more time.
It depends on how much you want to put into it.
yes, yes.
That's
But if you don't want to put anything into it,
not
it's
the
not
place.
very helpful to the board.
Yeah.
That's-
Both boards really want some folks who want to be involved and who
Yes.
want to help make decisions. And honestly, a lot of the decisions have to do with how to spend money that each of the groups have.
Sure.
Well, the Friends do a lot more active fundraising.
Yeah, yes.
So you have to be, oh, and that's the other thing. So did everybody hear the news that they canceled the Christmas tour of homes? Sorry, I should have brought that up right away. There wasn't enough homes to do it, but like that day, board members are basically expected to work for several hours. So there is a lot more involved with being on the Friends board. Yeah. So I'm ready to approve these minutes, this how do I as is, unless other people want.
I'm just going to change just a couple of the little
Yeah,
grammatical
we saw those.
things, and I'll, if we approve it tonight, I will send you the final version. And
So Marissa, that would be like a handout to the folks that are interested in making donations. That's what we're talking about. That's not part of the policy. We already have a policy, and this is the how-to. So the how-to, is that going to be?
The library website has a section called How Do I, like, how do I reserve a
Right,
room? How
right.
do I
I'm
do
talking
this?
about
How do I?
walk-in. I'm talking about walk-ins,
I'll
that's
show
all.
you. Yeah, so basically, this specific document, the How Do I Donate document, that will be a page on the website, which it will be here, how do I make a donation? It's gonna go under this make a donation
Okay,
there. And then, basically, the plan is to have a printout of that for anybody who wants it. I'll include tax ID numbers on the printout
Right.
of it.
okay.
But yes,
So you have some kind of one piece of paper for walk-in.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
yeah. Normally, I just say out loud like all this stuff, but it's gonna be so nice to have this actually
Right.
available. It should be the Canby Public Library one, but it will ask you to read it. The terms and conditions. If it doesn't let you
I just
do this all day, every day.
Tiffany.
All I see is the city of Camden West.
No, I can give you that.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a burden. I would interrupt you.
I think it's complete, complete.
Okay. I'll make a motion, you second it.
Okay, it will connect with me. Oh, okay. It's okay, no worries.
So I'm going to make a motion that we accept the How Do I with the corrections that Marissa's going to make.
I'll second it.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? No, so motion passes. So that one's done.
Yes.
Who made the motion and who seconded it?
Lois made the motion, Rick seconded it.
Say that again?
Lois and Rick.
Thank you, sorry. I'll send out that final copy.
Okay. So the last thing on the agenda is the 2025 to-do list. And also, Marissa, did you want to go over your library lab goals? Because I have a couple questions about it.
So I'm just, basically, we can put whatever we want on here, we can take whatever we on off. This original document was something that we had looked at and talked about before the strategic planning process kind of started. So I just wanted to pull out all the things that we already accomplished, which you'll see below is the stuff I crossed out. Everything on top is stuff that we either haven't accomplished or are like still currently working on those things. But again, because enough time has passed, I think that we have different priorities now. So I think some of these might not really apply anymore, but I did want to put them there so you guys still saw what we had originally talked about. But one of the main reasons I wanted to talk about this one is because with the upcoming change in administration, both in the city and in the country, I think libraries are going to be a really big talking point. I'm not sure if that's going to be in a positive way. So I think that's something to keep in mind. And then also, like I said before, with the City Council goal setting retreat coming up, this is one of our first opportunities that I know of to actually get the library in that goal list. So City Council can make sure that they are focusing on something that the library thinks is really important to them. I do think that our strategic plan that you guys approved a couple months ago is a really good place to start for some of the priorities that we have going on, but because the City Council goal list generally is only like 5 to 7 items with a bunch of objectives under them, I can't imagine we would get more than one goal. So I just wanted to maybe get some help from you guys listing out all of the goals or the things that we want to work on in this coming year, and then maybe pick something, which it doesn't have to be tonight, but pick some goal that we all think is really important that we would include in the 2025 goal setting retreat for City Council. So yes.
I have one little point.
Yeah.
I think, unless I'm misunderstanding, I think it would be helpful to put on accomplished and cross through it. The fact that you did extend library hours, that's a huge win. And maybe it doesn't belong on this document, but to me it does.
Well, we really just shifted them because some people lost the morning,
Yeah.
For those of us who used to come in here at 9 o'clock, there was often mothers with little kids here, parents with little kids, so. But
But there's a lot of other accomplishments
Yes.
that maybe aren't on here too, so maybe I'm not understanding
So I didn't put everything that we've accomplished, because trust me, it's way more than this.
Right.
This was just a document that we had talked about a year ago, right before we started the strategic planning process. I copied word for word everything on that list, but then I separated it out into that list, what we accomplished on that list, and things that we're either still working on or we haven't. So this is by no means a full list of everything that we've done, but it's just what came from that list, so you guys can see.
So this is kind of an important time to be talking about this because we really, we've had all of our major policy stuff is done for now. And what do we as a group want to focus on in 2025?
We don't need to answer all of this right now.
Right.
But if you guys have any initial thoughts that I can, kind of include here. And just like the strategic planning process and the policy manual review, library staff are also going to be coming up with their own goals.
Yeah.
So I'll share those with you once I get them from everybody. We're supposed to be creating that list tomorrow at our staff meeting.
Is there any realistic way in which we could become more fully staffed, given the financial environment we're in?
Hard question to answer, but we have the budget process that's going to start February-ish, and that's
Yeah.
something that we're working on. Amber and I talked about this today. There's 3 things that we're thinking of that we're going to ask for. One is asking for the paid position back. Honestly, I would like to ask for 4. I cannot imagine we would get 4, maybe 1 or 2. So that's an option, bringing the paid position back. Another option is adding more funding to our on-call budget, which also would be helpful. And then we do have 2 part-time staff members who are doing a lot of the page duties, who want to actually do their actual position duties. So increasing their hours could potentially be a possibility, but again, with everything about to change in January, I honestly don't know what city council is going to have the stomach for, so I'm plan to present a couple different options and hope that we get one of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I will tell you one thing too, library staff we started tracking about, this would have been October. We're starting to track the hours that we are performing page duties. That way, when the budget process rolls around, we can say this was the equivalent of this many positions. And when you consider the fact that the paid position is an entry-level position in the library, it gets paid the least compared.
Does it make sense to have more highly paid people doing the job of a lesser paid person?
And
So-
you have to remember too, that we have a lot of volunteers doing a lot of that work, but we're still doing a huge ton of it. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we usually have the reference desk staffed with 2 people. Right now, our goal is to keep 1 person on that desk at all times, and when it's not busy, the other person is putting carts in order and shelving. So you'll see me shelving a lot there too.
Yeah.
We all do it.
Yeah, I guess it seems to me that is a goal that is beyond our ability to control.
Yeah.
And the other goals are clearly things, that are achievable. So in the awful world we live in, unachievable goals are not good goals to set.
No, but you can keep in mind, I'm gonna pull up the strategic plan here for a second. Even if we can't say, hey, our goal is to be fully staffed, right? That's not gonna make it. But we can massage the language. We can say, we would like to improve departmental and organizational health and stability. Like, there's ways that we can go about communicating what it is we need. It might not be as specific as being fully staffed, but it could, have to do with library staff members' capacity, how much work we're actually doing and trying to work on the health of our department.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the other directors in the city, we're gonna meet before the goal setting retreat, I believe, and see if any of our goals kind of fall under one, umbrella, see if we can combine anything, but this is a really good opportunity to get on the radar of city council, because this is a document, at least the city council goals document, it's a document that they look at, it's a document that the city department leads have to constantly update and answer to and make sure that we're doing all of those things. So it's really a big opportunity, and I just want to make sure that we are included and have a really solid goal in there that can help us work for us. So yeah.
So that's our goal for next year, is to look at the goals and figure out what we, as a library advisory board, can do to help Marissa and the library accomplish them, basically. I mean, we are an advisory board. That's what our job is to do, is to advise.
So if you have initial thoughts, you can let me know now. Otherwise, I will put this on our agenda for the next meeting, but it would be really awesome if you guys could just look at the strategic plan, think about the things that we have been working on and the things that we've been talking about that we would like to work on, and then maybe bring those ideas to the next meeting.
Yeah.
I just wanted to at least get this on your radar so we can figure out what kind of goal we want to make council aware of.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I could work on that.
Is the strategic plan in there?
It is in there. It's the most beautiful document that is in that. It is also on the library website. like, we worked on that for a long time, and the design of it, I was like all about it too, so, yes. It's the city council one.
So I keep forgetting to ask, what did Philip's wife, they have a baby boy or a baby girl?
Girl,
Oh,
yeah, she was born on election day.
it's my wedding anniversary.
She's really cute, we saw her.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
Great.
we'll be back next week and hopefully we'll do it. But everyone's healthy and happy, just tired as we expect.
How many children do they have?
2.
Oh, that'll do it.
Their son is,
How old is their son? Oh, there's a big age difference.
Helpful spread.
Okay, is there anything else on the agenda? Any questions?
I think we should thank Scott for his time with us.
yes.
Do you know who's replacing you?
What's that?
Do you know who's gonna be on our board?
Don't know.
Okay.
We won't know till, I think it's the January 6th meeting. It's the first meeting in January where they're gonna do the new council introductions and then they'll
We'll be up.
liaison appointments.
Who are the new council members? I Google it and I get all this.
Paul Waterman,
Oh,
He replaced me.
Okay.
He's the only one. Everybody else.
yeah. And so Tracy was reelected,
Right.
Daniel Stearns was reelected, and Pat
was reelected. Okay, great.
Have something? Linnea, if you would be so kind, is to take the responsibility of dropping this off. at the library desk at the high school.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get Linnea up to speed yet, so I'm going to call the meeting. Send everybody home to have dinner.
Terrible.
So the meeting's adjourned. Everybody is okay with that?
Certainly.
We're done.